Hey everyone, if you're curious about the real impact of social media, today we've got a story that's going to shock you. From addiction to mental health issues, this is the truth about how TikTok is harming Americans and why banning it was a game changer. Now, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Beast, aren't you supposed to be giving away cars and money, not diving into the dark heart of social media? Well, consider this. My philanthropic contribution to a world that desperately needs a break from endlessly scrolling through dance challenges and questionable life hacks. Buckle up, folks, because we're going deep into the digital rabbit hole to expose the truth about TikTok. Let's talk about TikTok's algorithm, the digital equivalent of that friend who keeps refilling your plate at a buffet, even though you're desperately trying to unbutton your jeans. It's designed to keep you hooked, feeding you an endless stream of short, dopamine-inducing videos perfectly tailored to your interests. You start with a harmless cat video, and 3 hours later you're watching someone make a miniature replica of the Death Star out of toothpicks. It's a slippery slope, my friends, and we're all sliding down it. This constant stimulation creates a feedback loop that's harder to break than a Kit Kat bar in a preschool. We're talking lost productivity, neglected responsibilities, and relationships crumbling faster than a stale fortune cookie. And it's not just anecdotal evidence, folks. Studies have shown that excessive social media use, particularly on platforms like TikTok, is linked to a whole buffet of mental health issues. We're talking anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, the works. It's like ordering a side of existential dread with your daily dose of viral content. And let's not forget about the younger generation, those bright-eyed, bushy-tailed digital natives who are even more susceptible to the addictive nature of these platforms. Their brains are still developing, and we're essentially letting TikTok wire them like a cheap string of Christmas lights. Now let's talk about the content itself. TikTok is a highlight reel on steroids, a carefully curated feed of the best 3 seconds of everyone else's lives. You're constantly bombarded with images of perfect bodies, luxurious vacations, and seemingly effortless success. It's enough to make even the most well-adjusted person want to chuck their phone into a vat of lukewarm queso and embrace a life of blissful ignorance. This constant exposure to curated content fuels a phenomenon known as social comparison, which is about as much fun as it sounds. We start comparing our behind-the-scenes bloopers to everyone else's perfectly edited highlight reels, and guess what? We don't measure up. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-worth, and a whole host of other mental funhouse mirrors that distort our perception of reality. And let's not forget about the pressure to conform to trends and gain validation through likes and comments. It's like high school all over again, but instead of passing notes in class, we're vying for digital hearts and fire emojis. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite topic, data privacy. Remember that time you searched for how to unclog a toilet at 3 a.m? TikTok remembers. In fact, it remembers everything. This app collects more data than the NSA on a caffeine bender. We're talking location data, browsing history, even biometric information, like your face scan. It's enough to make you want to wear a tinfoil hat and communicate solely through carrier pigeons. And the worst part? This data is often shared with third parties because who needs privacy when you can have targeted advertising, right? It's like trading your digital soul for a coupon for 10% off your next order of questionable bath products. TikTok has been slapped with more lawsuits than a swarm of mosquitoes at a nudist colony. They've been accused of mishandling user data, failing to protect it adequately, and generally treating our digital privacy like a used napkin. It's a digital dumpster fire fueled by our personal information, and it's time to put it out. But wait, there's more. TikTok's influence extends beyond the digital realm, seeping into our physical world like a particularly aggressive mold infestation. We're talking about dangerous trends and challenges that spread like wildfire, putting users at risk and leaving a trail of chaos in their wake. Remember the Skullbreaker challenge? How about the Benadryl challenge? These viral trends, fueled by TikTok's algorithm and the insatiable thirst for internet fame, have resulted in serious injuries and even fatalities. It's one thing to watch someone eat a Carolina Reaper pepper on the internet. It's another thing entirely to replicate it in your own home with a camera rolling and a vague hope of going viral. The platform's ability to amplify harmful behavior is a significant concern, particularly for impressionable young users who might not fully grasp the potential consequences of their actions. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, the decision to ban TikTok. Several countries, including the United States, finally decided to put their collective foot down and say enough is enough. It's like showing up to a buffet and finding a sign that says, "Sorry, we're all out of existential dread and data privacy violations." The decision was driven by concerns over national security, data privacy, and the well-being of citizens, particularly the younger generation. It was a bold move, a decisive action to protect the public from the app's potential harm. Sure, the ban faced legal challenges and sparked debates about censorship and free speech. But let's be honest, folks. Sometimes you need to fight fire with fire, or in this case, fight a data-hungry social media giant with a good old-fashioned ban. So, what happened after the ban hammer dropped? Well, the world didn't end, despite what some TikTok doomsayers might have predicted. In fact, something rather interesting happened. The social media landscape shifted. Users who were once glued to TikTok were forced to find alternative platforms, diversifying their digital diets and exploring new forms of entertainment. It was like discovering there's a whole world of food beyond chicken nuggets and fries. The ban also sent a ripple effect through the tech industry, prompting other social media companies to reevaluate their data privacy practices and implement stricter measures to protect users. It was a wake-up call, a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility, and that exploiting user data is about as socially acceptable as wearing Crocs to a wedding. So there you have it, the truth about how TikTok was killing the people of America and why banning it was the best decision. The app's addictive nature, impact on mental health, privacy concerns, and influence on behavior made it a ticking time bomb. The ban was a necessary step to protect the public and pave the way for a safer digital environment. Now, I know some of you might be mourning the loss of your daily dose of viral dance crazes and questionable DIY hacks, but trust me, there's life beyond the endless scroll. Go outside, read a book, have an actual human interaction. You might be surprised at what you discover. Subscribe for more eye-opening stories and the truth behind the headlines. See you in the next video.